Alright, I'm going to give you a quick lesson on factoring by grouping. This step you guys know how to do, easy peasy. This may be new. Now I'll be real honest with you, if you are going to college, a really good skill you need to learn is how to read and follow the directions. So if you are really good at reading and you want to just sort of not listen to me, you can read the directions and figure out how to do it, which, like I said, is a great skill. But if you go, oh, I just finished a test, my brain hurts, I don't want to think, then I will give you a quick directions on how to do factor by grouping. So if I were you, I would flip your paper over, and you can do the examples right here. I'm going to keep this sheet nice, and I'm just going to do mine on another sheet, but you can just do yours directly on the back. So we're just going to look at factor by grouping. And before I even do a problem for you, let's look over here on the front. Look at all these problems. What do you notice about all of these that is so different from anything we've done? Here, I'll give you a clue. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have how many terms? 4. Factor by grouping is so easy to see because the problems have 4 terms. So as soon as you see that, you go, hello, Dolly, it's a factor by grouping. And then actually you go, yes, because these are not hard. So the first example I want to do is the one that they gave. And that problem is x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 15. Now, before we even start this, I'm going to zip over to the side here, grab me some more pens, and I'm going to do an example. You don't have to write this down, I just want you to see something. You guys know how to FOIL. Factor by grouping sort of is FOIL backwards. So let's just think, when we multiply this out, you guys always take the x times the x, and then the x times the 2. Then you take the 3 times the x and the 3 times the 2, correct? Okay, so I'm going to write it out just a little bit different on how you do it, but you don't write it this way. We're going to multiply the x times the x and the negative 2. Then what we do, we usually don't write it out, we take the 3 times the x and the 3 times the negative 2. You usually don't do this step, write it out, you just do it in your head. And so you get x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 6. You guys go straight from here to here, but there's like a middle step in there. How many terms do we have right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. What we're going to do here, factor by grouping, is we're going to take these 4 and go back that way. Alright, so when you are doing factor by grouping, what it really is you're doing greatest common factor 2 times. Okay? So you're going to, I underline these 2, we're going to look at these 2 and do greatest common factor, we're going to look at these 2 and greatest common factor. So cover that up and go, what do these guys have in common? And you look, they go, okay, they both have x's, and the most that they both have is x squared. So I'm going to take out an x squared. What do I have to multiply times x squared to get x cubed? I need 1 more x. And to get a negative 5x squared, I need a negative 5. Done with that side. Okay, now we're going to look at this side. What do these have in common? Well, they both have a 3. Now, because this is a positive 3 in front, we're going to pull out a positive. We always make sure these signs match. Now I need an x, and I need a minus 5. And when you remove your hand, you should go, well, hey, look, these parentheses are the same. That's good, because look over here. See how this looks like this? How many times do we have the x minus 2? We really only have it 1 time. So we're going to write our x minus 5 down 1 time. What do you do with these guys? They were from the first set of parentheses. So we're going to take these and put them in this parenthesis. I call these the leftovers because they're on the outside. And there's our answer. Yeah, I know. It's really that easy. Isn't that awesome? Alright, so we're going to do a couple more real quick. Definitely stay with me for this example. We are going to do 2x minus 1, x plus 5. Oh wait, I just gave you the answer, not the problem. Alright, Nick, say that one. Pretend you didn't see that. I'm not going to redo my video. We're just going to put the part that we need. We need 2x squared plus 10x minus 1x minus 5. All right, now we have a factor by grouping problem because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to it. Look at these two, and then we're going to look at those two. What do these guys have in common? See, they both have a 2, and they both have an x. So take out 2x as your greatest common factor. We still need an x. We still need a 5. Then we come over to this side. Gosh, they don't have anything in common. So if they don't have anything in common, you at least have to pull out a 1. But do you remember what I said about the sign? These signs have to match. So I'm going to take out a negative 1. So what do you have to multiply times negative 1 to get a negative 1x? X. What do you have to multiply times the negative 1 to get a negative 5? Well, that would have to be a positive 5. Now see, by pulling out the negative, look at these guys. They match. I write that down one time. I take my leftovers, throw them over here. It doesn't really matter. You can put, doesn't matter which set of parentheses go first. And there you get the answer, which is what I originally started with. My bad. I just want to keep this moving quick. So let's try one more. And if you're good, you are free to flip to the other side, turn me off after this, and go. Okay, this time I did good. I wrote down the problem, not the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 problems. Factor by grouping. Draw your lines. Greatest common factor. What do these guys have in common? I can't hear you. All right, good. 2x squared. Oh, squared. What do you have to multiply by 2x squared to get 4x cubed? I need a 2. I need one more x. Boom, got that one. What do I need to get a 2x squared? Nothing. Do I quit? No, you got to have a placeholder. Put the 1 in so that when you distribute back, you get both parts. Come over here, look at this part. What do these guys have in common? Absolutely nothing. So we at least have to take out a 1, but oh my goodness, my leading term is negative. We be taking out a negative 1 again. What do you have to multiply times a negative 1 to get that? I need a positive 2x. What do you have to multiply times a negative 1 to get a negative 1? Positive 1. Look! Once again, we did it right because these guys match. So write them down once. Put your leftovers together in the other one. My friends, we are done factor by grouping. Go get that homework done and don't have homework for your evening.